Hi, my name is Carrie, and I am going to be doing a review of the reading that I had with Sun Fairy Chrissy this last week. Me and my husband are currently trying to conceive, and it's been 7 months now, or going on 7 months, and still no luck, so I wanted to get a little more spiritual guidance in making sure that everything's okay and whatnot. So I found Sunberry Chrissy online by myself, and I saw her website. And then, before I placed my order, I did my research where I went online, I found her Facebook page, and I saw some reviews, and I really felt confident that going to her was the right thing. So anyways, I sent her a message, or I placed my order, I placed my order with her on Saturday. I had some questions to answer for her, which I responded to on Sunday, and then there's some questions that I had that she needed some more information. So even though the package was for 24 hours, it would take a little longer, but that was because I didn't give her enough information to go based off of to get the correct information for me, if that makes sense. So anyways, by Tuesday I did get my full reading, and I was really nervous and really excited and couldn't wait to read it, but when I opened it, I didn't want to read it because I didn't want to, open Pandora's box, so to speak. But I did, and I was really happy with what I had read. I sent her 4 questions, 4 personal questions, which I can go over a few with you, and I asked for 4 messages. Aside from the messages and the questions, she did tell me the time frames and genders of my future children. So she did mention that I am going to have 2 children, which is awesome. She said that she only sees 2 coming my way. Now, when she says have 2 children, she doesn't necessarily mean give birth. This could also be with adoption or surrogacy or any of the like. But either way, I will have a baby in some form. And she said, as of right now, she does see that I will either get a positive test or conceive this June or 2014, or I will give birth in June 2015. She said it's going to be a boy, and that she does hear the numbers 2 or 9 or 9. And this could be where I find out, or I conceive, or ovulate, or whatever the case may be. So there's many connections with those numbers. And then following my boy, I will have a girl with the dates of receiving a positive test or conceiving in April 2017, or giving birth in April 2018. So first off with this, when I heard or read, that I was going to, possibly conceive in June or see a positive sign in June, I was kind of a little depressed at first, just because, we've been trying so hard, and sooner the better for me. However, in retrospect, I had a doctor's appointment on the 15th of January, which was yesterday, and it was for weight loss, which I am trying to do currently, where I just started this diet where I take a diet pill of phenmetrazine prescribed by my doctor. And when I talked to my doctor, he actually said that while taking this medication to try and avoid pregnancy, because the medication is not good for the baby at any stage. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a sign. I can see why now, because my program, which I'm going to be doing, is going to take me from January till April 1st, which is how long my diet program is going to take with my doctor. And so with that said, they had talked to the pharmacy to ask how long I should wait between when my program is done on April 1st to be able to kind of start trying to conceive, where the medicine is out of my system. And they said it's usually been 3 to 4 weeks. So that means April 2014, I'll be at my target weight goal, and I'll be off my medication and being able to start trying in May, which means that most likely that means I'll get my positive sign a month later, or conceive a month later. So to me that seems like it all connected, and I'm really excited. That was a huge, positive sign for me, that, what she said is accurate. So I'm really excited about that. And then, to continue, excuse me, I asked for 4 messages, so she sent me a message from my girl, as well as from my son, and also messages from both of them to me and both of them to my husband. Pretty much what she was saying for my son is that I will see signs of his arrival, so to speak, through images of eggs in a bundle, or either a nest and or a basket or some sort of similar container. And she sees blue eggs specifically, like pastel colors. So she doesn't know if maybe it might be related to Easter eggs, or maybe robin's eggs, which are blue, or any other kind of eggs that may have a blue tint to it. So when I see those kind of signs, that's a good sign that he's around and it's almost time to conceive him or whatnot. She also mentioned to use lavender and certain herbs with my son, and also, according to my daughter, she says I do need to, my daughter said this in regards to my son, that I will need to start eating cooler foods, or cooler affecting foods, where it kind of cools my system, and which is interesting because I personally prefer eating like onions and jalapenos and hot sauce, which I have on almost anything. So I can see, again, she doesn't know this about me, so the fact that I read that, maybe my daughter's telling me to kind of cut back on eating too much of that stuff and trying to focus more on cooling my body temperature down and not eating jalapenos or onions with every meal, where it kind of burns up my insides and heats me up. So, of course, with moderation is okay, but that was also another sign for me that it's, really solid what I'm reading from her. And I was like, wow, she doesn't even know me. She only knows my name and dates, and she's getting all this stuff to me, which is like almost on the nail, or nail on the head. Okay, so also for my daughter, she mentioned that I will see through white unicorns as well as snowflakes, or a mix of the two together. And another sign that was awesome, even though my daughter's years away, she's obviously nearby, because the other day when I was calling my mother after I had done my reading, and my mother doesn't know anything about this reading, but after I had done it, I called my mother on my way home from work every day, and the first thing she mentioned out of the blue was that she was seeing little white snowflakes resting on the window outside her house in North Carolina, and that it doesn't normally snow there at this time, because they had just gotten over that whole cold front that had come down. So they had actually had a lot of nice weather, and then randomly it just started snowing, and the fact that she mentioned it was really out of the blue. So to me, that was a huge sign that my daughter is also nearby. And then just to kind of go over another thing, was one of the questions I had was about, a personal question that I had was about my career path. And I had asked her, what's in store for me career-wise, just because I was just curious to see what she would say, and I have an idea of what I wanted to do. So she said that when she spoke with my babies, that I am meant to be going down the business venture path, which I'll go into more detail. Pretty much she stated that I'm supposed to be self-employed, or like work towards becoming self-employed, because that's where I'll be the most successful. And she said that, before I've been kind of doubting myself, or, too comfortable in my situation with having a job that someone else pays me and does all the dirty work, and I just rely on paycheck to paycheck and such. But anyways, what was more specific, which I loved, she saw that in my career I would be bringing food to people. She also mentioned medicine, but mainly food, and even possibly inventing food or medicines that will help people. And as I'm not too sure about the medicines part, but you never know, what I'm actually trying to do, which again she has no idea about, was I was am actually in the process of getting a food truck, which hopefully will happen in the next few months, and then from there I will one day hopefully become a building restaurant where hopefully in the future I will be creating a chain. So from what I'm reading and what I've read and about my future and other questions that I had asked, I see that I'm really going in the right direction. So that made me super happy and super excited, and I just felt nothing but blessed for having met Sun Fairy Chrissy, and she's answered all my questions, and any questions that I've had further, she doesn't hesitate to answer. Of course, there are some more deeper questions that I want to ask, such as names that I have for my children. I want to know if they'll like them. She does suggest names, but not necessarily names that will be their names. It might be just names that are around their names, such as Weston, or she put down Weston for my son and Jewel for my girl. And that could be a friend they have in the future, or someone that's related to my labor, my pregnancy, whatever the case may be. But either way, so I am going to go back to her in the next month to kind of get a further reading into it with more questions that I have, which I cannot wait to hear the answers for. And she's also currently sending me my bracelet, which will be all the charms and stuff that will help me conceive. And so when that happens, I'll be more than happy, and I am going to post another video when I get that, along with all the goodies that I got with the Paisley bundle, where again it gave me 8 options of questions or messages or the mix. So if you have any doubts, you can email me. I'll be more than happy to be a reference. I think she's done amazing. You can find me on Facebook, and also even ask her. She's very, very kind, and I can't wait to see her again. And yes, sometimes it can be a little bit of money, but honestly, it's worth it. And I will be back in June, or whenever the case may be, to report back. I will give you feedback with more that I see. So I hope that answers any of your questions. Again, if I am not specific enough, please feel free to contact me through my Facebook or my email, which I will post with this video. Again, thank you guys so very much for taking the time to watch this lengthy video, but I hope it was informative, and you guys have a great day. Bye.